Hello, and welcome to Northern Kentucky University's Career Services Handshake Workshop. My name is Avinam, and I'm a peer career coach here at Career Services. I'm also a senior at NKU, double majoring in economics and statistics. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to get started with Handshake. Handshake is the number one way that college students find jobs. You can use Handshake to find co-ops and internships, as well as full-time and part-time jobs. Handshake also allows you to create a profile so employers can find you. The best thing about Handshake is that it has career-building resources, events on campus, and opportunities all in one place that is free for NKU students. Now, let's take a look at what Handshake has to offer. To access Handshake, you will go to the Northern Kentucky University's website on the homepage. Then click on the quick links over here on the top bar. Then you will click on the Handshake logo, which is over here. This will take you to the login page for the Handshake. So just simply hit the Northern Kentucky University login, and this will ask you to put in your NKU credentials, which will then log you to Handshake. However, this section in the NKU's home website is going to be deprecated very soon. So the alternative way of getting to there would be doing a simple Handshake generic search on Google. Then the second one, which says Handshake Shine In, just click on that, and then you can simply put in your NKU email. And once you hit next, you will come to the same page that you would have landed when if you had clicked over here on the NKU's home website. So once you log into the Handshake, you will see a home page. So this is what the home page looks like. This is a page that is personalized to you, and Handshake will show you any upcoming events, recruiters that you can connect with, or jobs that Handshake recommends to apply to. Now let's look at the profile section of Handshake. When you click on your profile photo or your initials, if you haven't uploaded a picture yet, in the right hand corner, upper corner, a drop down menu will appear. You will see a list of options you can select: my profile, my jobs, my documents, etc. We are going to focus on the profile. Once you click on it, this is what you will see. So first thing that you will see is your profile picture. We would recommend using a professional photo of yourself. For my profile, I have used a professional photo of myself, as you can see right over here. Employers want to be able to see the person's face so that they will be able to recognize them when they first meet them. And you should look friendly and professional in your profile photo. Dress like you are about to give a presentation to folks in your field. Depending on what your major is, the type of photos that you would have as a banner differs. For example, for a graphic designer, a photo with the green screen background of one of their designs would be a great banner. You can edit your banner by clicking here on the edit banner at the top right. You will also see your name, university, pronouns, and location. Make sure these are correct. In the About tab, the first section you will see is a summary section. Use this section to introduce yourself to the employer. You might include information about career aspirations, passions, and what you are currently looking for. But keep in mind, this is a first impression, so everything you should post should be professional. This section only allows up to 300 characters, so make sure your summary is concise and doesn't have information that is present in the other sections of your profile. To maximize the use of summary, use that space to add new information. So it might be best to write your summary after you've completed editing the other parts of your profile. Next, we have skills section. Spend some time and make a list of all the skills you want to highlight on your profile. This is important since employers often search for potential candidates using skills as a filter. So having this section filled out makes sure you are more likely to show up on employers' search. Next, we have work experience. In this section, you can add any jobs that you currently hold or have held in the past. Like your resume, you want to include well-written bullet points that tell the reader or the employers about your responsibilities and accomplishments in these roles. Make sure you include all your work experiences, even if you think it's not relevant to your field, since every role teaches you something and employers will appreciate that. Handshake automatically lists it based on the most recent experiences, so you don't have to worry about putting them in any specific particular order. Next up is education. This is where you can add details about your area of study. Make sure to include your minors as well if you have any. Then we have courses. Before you dive in, it's better to create a list of important or most valuable courses you've taken throughout your degree. Make sure you make a concise list, since adding every single course you have taken will just look chunky. One guideline is to not include your intro level or 100 level courses, since your higher level more courses are more specialized coursework, and it's more likely to grab an recruiter's attention. Many students take introduction to psychology, but not many students take a web development course, for example, which could be a skill that you may be able to use in a future role. Next is organizations. In this section, you can add any organizational involvement that you've had when you were in college or outside college as well. These can be organizations on campus you're involved with, professional organizations, organizations where you've done volunteer work, etc. Similar to work experiences, make sure you also add bullet points explaining your role and tasks in those organizations. Underneath organizations, we have projects. This could be used for photos, presentations, websites, or anything you would like the employers to see to enhance your profile. For me personally, as a stats major, it would include data analysis related projects or group projects that I've done throughout my college time. Make sure to link to that project too, so that employers will be able to actually see what you build or what you've done for that project. Then finally, we have languages, where you can just list some other languages that you might know. Next, let's quickly take a look at some other options available in the drop-down menu when you click your profile picture at the top right. After my profile, you can see we have a couple other options like my jobs, my meetings, my documents, and my career interests. Let's start with my jobs. My jobs is where you will go to see records of all the jobs you've applied to through Handshake and the status of that application. Here you can see these are all the applications that I have been applying, and it shows the status of those applications as well. Next is my meetings, and this is where you will go if you have any scheduled meetings with any employers through Handshake. It also has on-campus interviews listed over here if your campus has any upcoming scheduled interviews with any specific employers, for example, Fisher Homes. Next is my documents. This is where you will go to upload your documents, for example, resume, transcripts, or cover letters that you intend to use for applications. Don't worry, Handshake will also give you an option to upload such documents during the time of applying. So, be sure to check if you want the document to be private or public when you're uploading your documents. For example, the past documents that I have been using, I have it as private, but the general cover letter and my master resumes, I have it as public. You do not want to make a document public if it's not intended for public use. If you want to publish any documents publicly, make sure that the document does not include any of your personal contacts like phone numbers in the document. Finally, we have my career interest page, where you will simply choose options that are applicable to you so that Handshake can use it to recommend you jobs and customize the platform based on that. For example, what type of position you are looking for, what options you're considering after graduation, right? And all these other types of questions. There's not a lot of questions, so it shouldn't take much time, and make sure to hit save after you're done. Now, let's take a look at the tabs over on the left-hand side. First up is Explore. Explore is the default landing page that I talked about earlier. Let's look at the second one, which is the feed. This is one of the new features introduced to Handshake. It has been a feature in the mobile app version, but it's fairly new to the web version. Similar to other social media platforms like LinkedIn, you can use this space to share your achievements, academics, or professional journey. The cool thing is that you can filter your feed based on either your major, school, or employers by clicking on the buttons up here at top. this might be interesting for you. If you want to know what students from your school are up to, or what people from your major have been doing or achieving. Next is inbox. Here you can find all the messages that you have received from employers or other people that you've networked with, and also the ones that you sent to others. Now let's look at one of the most important pages and the main function of Handshake, which is job searching. To find job postings on Handshake, you will click on the Jobs tab in the left-hand panel. Since there are a ton of jobs posted on Handshake, you will likely want to narrow down the list using filters. To apply quick filters, just click on the specific filters listed to the right of the search bar on top. For example, I am more interested in full-time job rather than internship or part-time. If you want a more extensive list of filters, simply click on the last one that says the filters. Here you will find a range of filters useful in your job search. Being an international student, a personal favorite of mine is being able to search jobs that are open to CPT, OPT, or visa work sponsorship, which is something that LinkedIn does not have. Cool feature here is that as you apply filters, job counts that you can see over here on the bottom left hand side of this pop-up will update based on the filters you apply, so that once you have applied filters that leads to a reasonable number of jobs, then you can look at those jobs in more detail. For the purpose of demonstration, I will select a couple of these filters that I would personally use. Since I am graduating soon, I would love to look for full-time roles, which is a filter that I've already applied here. Next, I want it to be an actual job, so I have it here. I don't want it to be anything else, so I will move down. I absolutely want it to be paid, and maybe a minimum salary of $70,000 per year. Next, I want the job to be open for either OPT or US visa sponsorship. So I'll click on these two filters. As you can see on the bottom left corner of the panel, after applying all of these filters, there are still around 5,400 jobs left. Remember that we still haven't used any keywords for our search, so these jobs are from every industry in Handshake, from nursing to accounting. After using the filters you prefer, go ahead and use any keyword to look for jobs. So after I click apply here, click on the search bar to look for jobs using keywords. Keywords are typically job titles, but can be a word that indicates a specific skill you have. For example, I'm interested in data related positions, so my first keyword will be a generic search for data. So after putting in my keyword, you can see over here that Handshake still has around 1,400 jobs that matches my preference. However, that is still a very big number for me. And since I live close to campus, I would love my job to be around this region too. So I will click on the location filter, and then let's search by city. Can go for Cincinnati for now. And now we have 19 jobs that matches our filters, which is much more reasonable to dive deep into. Now that I have the reasonable number of job postings over here, I would just quickly skim through these job titles, and if any of these job postings catches my attention, simply click on the job posting to see more details about the job. If you like the job posting and would like to apply to it maybe later on, you can simply click on this bookmark icon, which will save the job posting for you. This is so that you can apply later on, but if you are ready to apply right now, you can simply hit apply button. Once you've saved jobs, you can access them by clicking on the saved tab up here in the top bar. For now, I only have one. Saving job posts allows you to collect job postings that you are considering applying to, and then puts them in a central location so that you can easily find later. You don't need to save a job posting, especially if you have everything ready, as I mentioned before. As you spend time looking at these job postings, you will start to notice a couple different things. For the postings that say apply, it means that doesn't require you to leave Handshake and you'll be able to apply to that job posting within Handshake itself. For example, this one. If the posting says apply externally, for example, this one, it means that it will redirect you to that company's job portal where you would have to complete the application there and not on the Handshake app itself. The next thing that you'll notice is that Handshake gives you a quick overview, which is this one, of whether you match qualifications of the job posting. For example, for this one, it says you match some qualifications, which is my degree. However, while this is helpful in saving time, taking decisions completely based off it is not recommended. The reason being that a lot of times employers might not have explicitly mentioned every single qualification that would be reasonable for that position. So for example, you might find a marketing role at a company and the job description might say looking for marketing majors, but a design major or public relations major could be just as competent for the role as well. But when students from those majors look at the quick overview, they will see that the Handshake shows that they don't qualify based on the major. However, that might not be true. So it's always good to read through the job description and then decide whether you want to move forward with the application or not. If you feel like the job is within your skills and abilities, then feel free to apply. Now that we have covered the job searching aspect of Handshake, we just have a couple things left. Right below the jobs tab, on the left-hand side, you will see 4 other tabs. We have events, people, employers, and career center. So let's start with the events tab. In the events tab, you will find a number of events happening around you that is tailored towards your career readiness in college students. There are 4 distinct categories of events that has been highlighted right at the top. You have career fairs happening in your school, career center employer events. Note that Career Center here means NKU Career Services for NKU students. Career Center guidance events and events hosted by employers. You can also do a general search and apply filters to find events that you are interested in, similar to job search. Some of the employers will host events to let prospective applicants know the qualities that they are looking for in new hires and skills you need to develop to work at their company. So visiting events tab regularly to check if the company that you're interested in has any such events lined up could be a very good tool for you to get ready for job searching. Also, not only these can be used for research, they can be utilized as a networking opportunity too, to meet with employers from across the country. Next, we have people. As the name suggests, you can find people here that you can connect with and talk to. This can be really helpful if you are looking to network and gain some information about a company or a role and what it's like to be at that position. Again, you can search people based off a number of things like the major, company they work for, the school they go to, etc. Once you find, someone that you would want to connect to, you can simply click on their profile, either follow them, or if you want to message them, click on their profile and then hit message. Next, we have employers. Employers is very similar to people, with only key difference being instead of searching for people, you're searching for an organization. You can use this to learn more about different organizations in Handshake, what they do, what the size of the company, and sometimes you can find a contact person as well. A really helpful tool here would be, searching employers that you follow, which can ease up the process of tracking an employer that you really like. You can also use this to search for any open job postings based on a particular employer. For example, if you're interested in working at Wells Fargo, for example, you can click on it and click on the jobs to see all the open positions that they might have. Note that these are not all the open positions that the company has, but rather only the open positions that the company has posted in Handshake. So make sure to visit other platforms as well if you want an extensive list of all the job postings for that specific company. Finally, we have Career Center, which is NQ Career Services for NQ students. This is where you will go to carry out actions regarding your career services office. The landing page here can be quicker alternative to find events happening at NKU hosted by Career Services Office. Once you click on the Career Center, if you just scroll down, you will see the list of events or career fairs happening at your college. You can find contact information of our office here as well and public staff list as well over here at the right hand side. This tab specifically is helpful for three key purposes. One is scheduling appointment with us. Two is finding additional career related resources. And three, reporting your internship or co-op experiences to earn college credits for it. When you click on appointments, you will find an option to schedule a new appointment with career services staff and also view your past appointments. Likewise, resources will give you some posts about agreements and some other resources, for example, the career and major exploration resources, etc. Finally, experiences tab over here will direct you to a page over here where you will see your past internships or co-ops. For example, I have been interning with Great American Insurance Group for a while. So these are my past internship experiences. And also, if you want to submit a request to earn college credit for any future or past experiences like internship or co-op experiences, you can simply click on over here and fill this out. So this was an overview of the web version of the Handshake. There is a lot to explore, and I highly recommend you all to spend some time and explore the platform to get a sense of what it has to offer and how you can utilize it to the full extent for your job, internship, or co-op search. Handshake also has an app that can be super convenient to check on the progress of your applications or even just to use Handshake normally. The only key difference between the web version and the mobile version are the changes in navigation to certain parts. For example, the landing page for web version is Explore, but for app, it's Feed. Or to get your profile in the app, you just have to click at your profile picture instead of My Profile on the web version. However, since there is no change in functionality, that is, the Career Center tab on the web version have the exact same things as the app version has, I would recommend using the app to explore and save postings, checking out events, people, and employers, and for general exploration. I would recommend using the web version when filling out your profile and when actually applying to jobs. Hope this video helps in terms of understanding what the platform has to offer and how to use it. If you have any questions or would like to schedule an appointment, please contact Career Services via email at careerservices@nku.edu or by phone at 859-572-5680. Thank you and good luck with your future job search.